people out there who are expecting Jenna. Well, clearly you're not expecting Jenna if you are here. But I'm here, and I'll wait a little bit. Let's see what's going on here. This is new for me, so bear with me. And who do we have here? I don't know if we have anyone with us right now. Let's see. I'll just wait.
Aren't you going to say Jenna 1111?
Well, there's no one to hear it.
Nobody? How do you know they are just
I can see. So I'm talking to Shauna now because this is probably recording.
still saying
And
Jenna 1111?
it's 11:11 with Jenna, although it's 8:11 on the West Coast and 11:11 East Coast time. Jenna does this twice a day, every day, since March of 2020, and she's closing in on 1,000 shows. And I am just subbing for her tonight. And we're gonna wait a few minutes to see if anybody shows up, because we're officially keeping this show alive for Jenna, who couldn't be here just now. Usually Jenna is interviewing me on Tuesday nights, and we have conversations. We have conversations about anything topical. Jenna asks questions that come to mind, and I answer them as if we were sitting in a living room, just two friends talking with a bunch of other friends sitting around. Everyone's comments are part of the conversation, and that's how it goes. And sometimes it's sad, and sometimes it's interesting, and sometimes it's funny. And that's the way it is with conversations. Sometimes it's not so funny, not so interesting, not so sad. There's a lot going on in the world right now. Lake Tahoe, South Lake Tahoe, is under siege from this Caldor fire that obviously has a life of its own. It's part of its nature. Human intervened in nature. That's not the most grammatical sentence, but you understand what I mean. So it is now 8:15, 4 minutes of live show here. I'll go on for 11 minutes. How's that? We'll do 11 minutes. Hopefully someone will join in. We'll have a short conversation, and then we'll call it an evening. Jenna should be back tomorrow morning. My grandmother always said, God willing, because that's really the truth. And if you don't believe in God, see, we're getting deep here now. If you don't believe in God, there's got to be some intelligence, not necessarily a conniving, human-like intelligence, but there is some structure to the universe. That's why we have these natural laws. E equals mc squared, or the acceleration of gravity, the force of gravity. There are laws of nature. It's not a random thing. And you don't have to call it God. You can call it whatever you want. The universe. But there is something that is much greater than self. So when I say, or when my grandmother says, God willing, that's an acknowledgement that we have intentions, and then there are other forces involved. I'm listening now to the sounds of a house that has electricity. There's a dishwasher going. There's a fridge humming. These sounds were not with us about 5 days ago when the power just went out, just for the hell of it, for about 14 hours, with no explanation from our local power company, PG&E. That's been under siege for a while because of their own ineptitude. That's a conversation for another day. There are many, many lawsuits that this company is facing because of their incompetence. It's a semi-public institution, but there's private stock, which is a conflict of interest. So shareholders are put over, because that's the way our financial laws are, shareholders are put over the interests of the customer, the people who depend on this company for power, electric and gas. So we lost our power, and it was quiet. I didn't know how quiet it was until I heard the refrigerator go back on. And then I realized our power had been restored. And we neglect to be grateful for these things when we have them. So I am grateful now that we have power, that we are not burning at this moment where we are. I'm grateful that we are not flooded out or destroyed from a hurricane. My heart goes out to everyone in Mississippi and Louisiana who are affected by this 16-year anniversary Katrina called Ida. And it's going to be a hard slog for folks down in New Orleans and surrounding areas. I can't even imagine. And then what it would be like when there's intense heat and humidity, when you don't have electricity, or you don't have a roof, or there's water damage, and there's mold growing because you don't have electricity and you can't clear out or pump out the water. So that's what's going on. And I hear an alarm, Sean? Is it mine or yours? So we are coming up on, well, we just passed the 9-minute mark. In honor of 11:11, I'll go to 11 minutes, 11 seconds, and then sign off. I don't believe anyone's going to join in here, but that's okay, because it's Jenna's show, not my show. But I am happy to fill in for her and to keep 11:11 happening, which is what we're doing. This is spontaneous, off the top of my head, and I'm 61 years old, forgetting the basic word for extemporaneous stream of consciousness. That's what I was going for. Stream of consciousness radio. I guess this is what it would be like to do a stand-up without having anything planned. And I'm killing it, folks. Not in the positive way. I'm talking to a dead room right here, and that's okay. It's good experience to just have to speak. It's similar to just putting pen to paper and not letting the pen stop moving. It's just stream of consciousness, what's coming up. Clearly there's a lot going on in the world that we could talk about. Afghanistan. But here we are. It's 11:03, and I'm going to sign off. Thanks for being with Jenna. And it's 11:11 minutes after 11:11. Thank you, everyone. Stay tuned for Jenna's show, 11:11. Twice a day, every day. Give her your best. We love you, Jenna.